now? How's it for sound?
Yeah, it's good for some.
Okay. So George, I'd like you to just start out by telling us your name and maybe a little bit about where you grew up and where you're living now.
My name is George Marcello. I grew up I was actually born in Toronto. I grew up in the west part of Toronto. Presently, I'm living in Guelph. I'm a resident of Guelph, and I've been here for the last 9 years in this lovely town. Most of my life, I remember working in my dad's store, where we had a variety store business. And then I went on to go to school to take electronics, and that was at the time when I started becoming ill with a liver disease.
And what do you want to do now?
The thing I want to do now is as much as I could in helping people that are suffering with this disease. It has taken the lives of a lot of people, a lot of Canadians, and presently there isn't as much attention to the liver disease as there should be. So we are undertaking an exciting project, and hopefully we will be successful in getting this attention.
Just tell me in plain terms what you're planning on doing.
In May of '99, I myself am going to walk across Canada. I'll be starting from Vancouver and ending up in St. John's. It should take in the neighborhood of about 6 months to accomplish this.
How did you find out that you had liver disease?
I found out about 6-7 years ago. That was in '91. I was just going on a regular medical examination where at that time my family physician.
Hang on one sec. Could you start that over again and just say, I found out that I had liver disease?
I found out I had liver disease in 1991, where I went to visit my family physician, and I was doing just a regular medical. And in his medical, he found in my blood work that my enzymes were very elevated, and at that time he asked me to check this further, and he sent me to a specialist, a liver specialist, and it was there that they diagnosed that I had cirrhosis of the liver.
What is cirrhosis of the liver?
It's a scarring of the liver.
Hang on one second. Could you start with sclerosis of the liver? Yes.
Cirrhosis of the liver is a scarring of the liver where I guess just your liver will progress to die. All the cells in it start getting killed off, and when you look at it, it'll look like a half-burnt piece of meat, which is a very, very serious disease once you are diagnosed with it.
And what was your reaction when you found out?
Well, at that time, I didn't know too much about liver disease itself. When they told me I had cirrhosis, I did ask more questions about it, and they told me that it was a very serious disease that I did have. Well, at the beginning, it didn't really feel real yet. I had a hard time accepting at the beginning that you know, I did have this disease. I guess it's you know, just something that's so shocking that you know, some people could never accept that they have it. It took me a little bit of time to come to terms with it.
What was your life like at the time?
Life was pretty good at the time. I was a student at Conestoga College in Kitchener, and I was taking an electronics technology course where I was trying to pursue into that field. Besides just feeling a little bit tired, everything else in life was great. It really did come as a shock in that way.
How did you notice you were tired?
Well, I am a naturally fit person, and I do engage in a lot of physical activity, working out and playing sports and things like that. And I eat very well, and there was no reason for me to feel tired. And I just kept feeling this tiredness, and I couldn't relate it to any one thing, though, whether it was fatigue or, you know, any other reason. It just didn't make sense why I was feeling this tired. And I guess it was at that time that I asked for my medical, and eventually they came up with that diagnosis, that that's where the tiredness was coming from.
Did your friends notice?
Actually, they noticed my color changing more than the tiredness, because even
This was. Could you just say that my friends noticed?
My friends noticed that the color of my facial color was changing. It was turning more jaundiced, which is kind of a yellowing of the skin. And some of them would point that out every once in a while. And I could only relate it to that, well, maybe I was coming down with something, because at that time, you know, I didn't know what I really had. So, I mean, there wasn't really that many outstanding symptoms, you know, that were really noticed. As a matter of fact, they call it a sleeper's disease, because you can carry it and you won't notice that you're having it for years and years and years.
So when you found out, what kind of emotions were going through you?
Well, like I said, I was in a state of, well, not shock, but disbelief. I was very scared. I was very angry also, because I have a lot of belief in God, and I have a lot of faith. And at that time, I was blaming God for letting this happen, because things were going so well in my life, and it just felt like such an injustice. But what I did was, I did tell a few of my friends about it, but I refrained from telling my family. After knowing that I had this disease, it took a while for me to come to that decision, not to tell my family about it. So I came to the decision that since they told me that it was such a serious disease and that most people die from it, I made a decision to try and make that I wasn't sick to my family, and try